I put on my underwear. Does that count? No. I put on the spam filter, so we should
Okay.
be getting rid of all those spammy people's. But TXG is not spam.
No, sir.
No. He's legit. Folks, welcome to Gamers Health. I am Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as always, is my lovely wife, Rach. Now, I know I had said earlier today, don't expect any 1.1 talk. There'll be some peripheral OGL 1.1 talk. Not the least of which, because literally, and Rach can vouch for this, we went out to Long Island to spend some time with our niece. Uh,
Who's been going through a lot of like life upheavals, changing schools, a lot of changes in friendships and things like that. So, sort of dealing with change, and it's just been really hard for her. And she's coming through. But it made me think of the fact that we all have difficulty dealing with change. Some of us more so than others.
yep.
Um, whether that be a change in careers, like retirement, maybe, or um, moving your job, changing your job,
Or
and then
even
also things that can happen.
that you have no control over.
Yes, changes in the marketplace or whatever climate it is that you're working in.
So, the issue with 1.1, and like Rach could vouch for this. We were out in Long Island. We're at Friendly's, and I'm getting constant PMs on Facebook and text messages, and then my phone rings, and I'm talking to a good friend of mine in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
When we left to go out, another good friend in the industry was calling me on my phone when we were in the car, and it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, a lot of people are really worried about what this is going to mean for their
There,
livelihood, their family, and it makes you realize, oh, this is just a little game. No, it's not.
no,
Apparently, there are a lot of lives in the balance.
yeah. I mean, if you have, honestly, and I want to apologize to Jeff, but as I apologize, I don't apologize because it's the first time
Everything
in
happens for a reason.
my 55 years of existence where my procrastination and oh geez, I really should spend the whole 5 minutes getting this stuff scanned up, and I this this beautiful book, Continual Light. I'm going to show you something about this. This, I don't know if you can see that page back there. That's the open game license. Open game license 1.0A. And guess what? If we had put this out as planned at the end of the year, without me fucking things up, it would have fucked things up. I'd have a game published that theoretically maybe I could still print copies of and sell PDFs of, but I wouldn't be able to support without going to 1.1, which would mean I couldn't support it on the blog side because you can't do it that way. And I certainly couldn't do a lot of support and talking about it on a video because apparently you can't do it that way. And then everything I wrote or anything that I published would be effectively licensed without any recompense other than me getting to use 1.1. Everything would be licensed to Wizards of the Coast and to use freely for whatever they want to do. Now, for me, that would be minimal impact. I would just be very annoyed and upset. But if you or somebody, one of my friends, was planning to, in 2 months' time, move from being a part-time publisher, full-time standard work to full-time publishing, writing, they could do it. But if you just yank the OGL out from under them, which most of their prior works were under, well, guess what? That's life changing. Okay. My friends in the industry, I have many, publishers big and small, and no one is saying, wow, 1.1 is great for me. Everybody's going, 1.1 is going to kill my business. We can't abide by 1.1. I can't license everything that we publish.
People are feeling totally screwed.
Right. And here's the thing, too, folks. Folks were under, the idea for 23 years that this was going to be irrevocable. Ryan Dancy, who wrote the damn license,
I'm
says
sorry,
that
you said 23 years?
21 or 22 or 23 years. This license has been in existence.
And
The
it's
license.
since day one when this game came out.
No, it came out with the third edition of the game came out. They put this license out.
Oh, so we still had a good balance of time left.
Right. But nobody expected it to go poof.
I mean, do they have a right to do that?
They claim they have the right. Because they claim that irrevocable does not mean that we can't unauthorize it.
Purse.
So,
mince.
and TXG says even minor lawsuits could tie witches up the coast with injunction for years. You have to get the injunction. You have to get a ruling from a judge that says, in our opinion, this coalition, because if it's going to be effective, all right, you would need a coalition of publishers. Why a coalition of publishers? Because even take Paizo, who right now is what, number 2? They are dwarfed by Hasbro monies, Wizards of the Coast monies. Wizards of the Coast by itself is like 1.2, 1.3 billion. But I'm sorry, I'm not trying to talk like our president and get numbers mixed up. I'm just saying a million billions. I'm Googling.
Anyway.
But anyways, you know what I mean.
It's so bad.
I know, but you know what I mean. So yeah, but here's the thing: you're going to get outspent by Wizards. But if you have a coalition, you can stay in the game long enough to get that injunction. And once you get that injunction, then once it stays in the media perceptive, and I mentioned this in today's earlier video, they chose now to release it, or they're about to release it. I'm hearing somebody was asking me right before I went live, did you hear about the license getting released tomorrow? I heard nothing. So, but I mean, this is a down year in between editions, and if you're going to fuck up the market, now is the time to do it. And when your new edition comes out, people will forget all about it. I don't know what is this? The only D&D is the one D&D. There's no OSR. There's no Dungeon Crawl Classics. There's no Pathfinder. It's all wiped away in that memory hole. So, I'm catching up.
I see Tom and Tammy.
Rob. Well, it got Rob grumpy and grumpy.
I hear that.
Rob. By the way, yes, at the very least, Rob, it will be you and I think Tim and Greg tomorrow. We're gonna do this at noon tomorrow. There will be a special live stream of the Dungeons and Dragons Discourse special OGL 1.1 special.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what's that gonna be? We're mad as hell. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Yes, we're gonna.
Okay.
And then Rob's gonna put up things on the screen so that we can like visualize it.
Yeah. So it's good. So we can see certain elements of, what do you do dealing with change and something that is like this big for everybody, and like people coming together behind the same cause, and like coming together as a community. So that's something that you're starting tomorrow to kind of kick off, also like telling how you're impacted by these changes, not just like what's is a bunch of la 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 whatever, but being able to say like how family, how living, how you're impacted by what their decision
right
is.
It's not just, and I'll get into the second.
By the way, because
Derek wants to correct me. You're right. They claim perpetual does not mean irrevocable. My bad. Go ahead, Rachel.
Yeah, so even when one person tells their story, it sort of brings even more from other people too, to be able to tell theirs, so that maybe there could be some kind of collaboration with the company. Wishful thinking, maybe Pollyanna, but and that the company could make some concessions, because
well, here's my understanding,
especially as they hear how people are impacted.
Right. Well, here's my understanding, and again, I'll state this many times. I am privy to information that I will never be able to release, and what I do mention is stuff that it has to be filtered through this head. So hopefully I do it well. And I'm on the live stream, so God only knows I could fuck up, but I don't plan to. But on a more personal level, Wizards of the Coast, and I'm take that for what it means. On a more personal level, Wizards of the Coast does not believe that this is a big deal. That these are major changes. This is saying it's effectively the same license, just with one or two little changes to it.
What are two little tweaks of
What, two little tweaks?
20%?
Yeah. What's
And, you know, like
and giving us
whatever
all
else the
giving
thing
us
was.
giving us all the rights to your material. That what we have our own. We're never going to do it. We're never going to use it.
Away your rights right here.
You still own
right.
it. You still own it, but we have irrevocable, forever rights to everything that you publish under 1.1. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, folks, as I announced, by the way, on Facebook right before I did this live stream, procrastination at its best. By not putting this out, by not publishing this one I quote should have, I'm going to DOSR this. I mean, I could do DOGL this. Removing anything from the SRD. I can still use D20 and a D6.
So you'll be making it its own standalone
thing. System. I'm going to release it under a Creative Commons license. I got to read them. I want one where people can make derivative systems and support material and let it go where it's going to go.
Okay, so that's another way of coping, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a way around it.
You know,
and some people can, and some people can't. Some people might have just too many things that they'd have to rework.
Right. This is a 32 pages digest size. If you got something that's 320 full-size pages, you know, that's a lot of. I can do this. It might take me, procrastinator to them, 3 or 4 weeks. You know, but it can get done. And I'm going to have to do it because I want not just the OSR, but I want Continual Light to exist. And I don't want to be beholden to fucking a company that can give me a 30-day notice that they're changing the license. And guess what? You're
out.
Screwed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have no inside information on this one, but they're telling you for a year, well, we're not going to tax anybody for that year. And it's only over $750,000. Which is, again, your net income, not your gross, not after expenses and taxes. It's, just give us 25% of your, not even your profits, beyond your profits. So,
you know,
it's scary.
People to change the way they do stuff. They'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to do this little thing and only this money.
Right.
So that I could keep
I'm going to have to
where it's safe.
I'm going to downsize my company.
Financially.
Downsize my company. Maybe I need to save money. I can't pay artists, right? Maybe I have to use AI art, and we had that whole other discussion. This is life-changing for many people in our community, in companies big and small press, first-party publishers. As Rob Conley was saying, even non-D&D clones. Other systems that have released under the open game license, like basically RuneQuest did as Legend now, which is also now opened under, I guess, OpenQuest, right? That's going to be shitted up because the licenses are being unauthorized, so they can't be released under it. Cepheus, you're right, for Traveler. There's a lot of stuff out there. This has repercussions that, I mean, and it could be the bean counters and suits at Wizards of the Coast, otherwise known as morons. It could be that they never actually bothered to think beyond.
Well, they never did any kind of survey about what this. They never did the research. You're saying to check out what's the lay of the land with regard to what's out here. What are these?
All they knew, Rach,
types of people.
All they knew that they did research, but all it meant to them was this is money that we're not getting.
They never looked at like, this is just like this like little guy who's, you know, might be retired or whatever, might be living on a fixed income, and then he gets like a little bit extra, and it just, you know, keeps him going. You know what I mean? Like,
no. Well, here,
whether it keeps him going, whether that's like, mentally or financially,
maybe
whatever.
Maybe it's something that makes your car payment and keeps you
Yes
in a car. Maybe it allows your spouse to stay at home with your special needs child. These are all things that they don't care about.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So Sparky has a comment. I saw where a lawyer remarked that you'd need at least $500,000 in a legal fund just to survive the opening onslaught of Wizards of the Coast legal assault.
Because everybody has that.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. Again, and this is coming from somebody who's in their own legal action. I haven't gone to a GoFundMe. I will not go to a GoFundMe until I know exactly where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
I can stay in the game for a nice long time with my old funds, especially since I know when I prevail, New York State anti-SLAPP will make sure that my accuser has to pay back all my legal fees, which is a beautiful thing.
So absolutely
fantastic. But if Wizards of the Coast thinks that this gaming, and when we're talking the OSR, we're talking a small bit of the gaming community. When the gaming community, because remember, it's a large community, and it isn't just D&D. Wizards of the Coast wants it to be just D&D, the official D&D. They want to get rid of being, the Kleenex. Well, what do we call it?
Oh, they're trying to sanitize it. You mean?
Yeah, they really are, and they want everybody saying, "Well, I mean, you got your pornographic toilet tissue paper, and people are calling it Kleenex, and it's not Kleenex. It's fingers and tennis." Its own brand of toilet paper. They want to.
Oh shit.
They want to take that aspect away. That's part of the morality clause of 1.1. So all this stuff is affecting people and companies.
And it can go anyway. And it's whichever.
It's stressful, folks. Yeah. We understand that, but trust me, Sparky, if it comes down to that, I'm willing to bet a month of my pension.
Don't you dare!
Don't you dare bet a month of your pension. That if it came down to that, the major players in the industry that aren't Wizards of the Coast will band together. Okay, because if you don't, okay, it's going to be either you work as a team, even with people you don't necessarily like, or you fall one at a time.
Right, because maybe they have a strategy to divide and conquer.
I'm gonna listen. My earlier video, I basically said they're looking to basically salt the earth. They're looking to burn the field. You either assimilate like the Borg and come with us, or you die. You fail. They don't. There's no friendships like there used to be. Like people in the industry used to have friends at Wizards of the Coast, and they could talk, and now that's done. Okay, Wizards of the Coast is the enemy, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I expect that we're going to see a coalition of game companies, and I think that's great. I hope that if they do something like that, that they actually make it official, that they get an official coalition together and form like an overhead LLC.
Right. And we'd want to make sure, that the companies were like above board, Well,
they're going to be companies that we already know.
Okay.
Not like, hey, Joe, Dick, and Spanny, we're going to make our own company and join in on this coalition. No, that's not how I expect it to be. Yes, how is it to play out in Europe, Asia? Somebody else mentioned Australia.
Oh,
to
interesting.
Me.
It's like a worldwide phenomenon.
Right,
We're just looking at it from a U.S. perspective.
Because it's a U.S. contract, though, right? So wouldn't that go the U.S. contract law?
Yeah, what happens because different countries have different contract law.
Oh, apparently, I got it. I need to catch up. Hold on a second.
Oh.
I'm falling behind. I'm about 8 minutes behind, and somebody's lacking attention. So, even if they step back from publishers, are not going to trust 1.0 for shite. All right. Troll Lord Games has already said, hey, we're going to use, it looks like they're going to go Siege Engine, which has all its roots in 1.0, but all right. We'll see how that works. Yeah, a final version does have to be released. It hasn't been released, and here's the kicker. All right, the kicker is it was supposed to be released on the 4th, then the 6th, and they were supposed to announce by the 13th all the major players that had signed up. But we haven't seen anything that you might not see.
Nobody's announced any sort of
No.
Oh my.
So, hell, if I was faster, I'd probably be knee deep in full Majestic Fantasy. Yeah, Rob. Sometimes slowing down is a good thing. Now I'm hearing rumors, and this is not founded, that they're going to give a 30-day notice for current OGL content to either comply with 1.1 or get removed. That's a rumor. I've only heard it from one source, but and it could be somebody just in making an inference. So I don't know, but I'm catching up slowly but surely. Majestic Fantasy Realms will be Creative Commons. I think Creative Commons is going to be the way to go. Take it away from the corpse. Cepheus Engine publishers are considering pulling products next week over this, since Traveler uses the OGL, and Mongoose will likely take advantage of this. I am sure they will. There's a disconnect between the leadership and the product. Yeah, again,
okay.
The suits that are running Wizards now, right? Microsoft. Okay, they're not gamers. Except I played D&D in my youth.
Corporate suckage.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't know if the league is part of their research. I think the league is somebody who was under the NDA that's outside the company. One of the companies that they were trying to have sign the 1.1 early. I'm still trying to catch up. Oh, gee, thank you, sir.
What's that?
Mario.
Oh.
Hold on, excuse me, Rach. And you will never win in court. I don't know who you are, Mario.
Yeah, I wonder who that could be.
I don't know who that could be, but
I might be half blind, but no one here is deaf or dumb like you. But...
Yeah, no. So Mario, I'm glad you found your father, Mario. By the way, every child deserves a father, even at your age.
Yeah, he had to thank him for not wearing a condom.
Well, sure. We don't want to offend the special individuals in the room. Okay. Oh, the one special. All right, so
I'll be good.
Oh, gee, the mother of the Goonies kid is here running her mouth. Oh, there you go. You know what?
What does that even mean, Goonies kid?
I don't know.
I don't think I saw that.
I
wonder, one of those references. It's kind of like, huh?
I wonder if the Coast Guard does keyholing. I don't know.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's when they take you and they throw you over the side, but your wrists are tied and your ankles are tied, and then you go under the boat from one side to the other. Your keelhole, you go under the keel, underwater. So that used to be a punishment back in the British Navy. I don't know if the Americans ever used it.
I think maybe just cement bricks.
Oh no! That's too permanent solution. That doesn't. Yeah. So let's go back to real people, and not the fake.
Instead of trifling trots of a trolls.
Yeah. Go back to playing on your Wikipedia page, will you? Third-party publishers are in an impossible situation. They can keep releasing material under 1.0 and face ruin if they lose the inevitable lawsuit, or wait years for a new OGL to be litigated, unless you get a judge to put a hold on revoking 1.0. And I don't know, maybe there might be some companies that have that as an idea. Maybe they preempt and they file a suit before Wizards even gets to that. It's possible. It's possible. So, I'm by the way, Tenkar, mad you can't make a game under your own creativity. You need to rip off the D&D stuff.
Huh? Oh, because he invented it. Is this
Well,
the person that invented the D&D
No. He just tried to claim his company published it. Okay. But by the way,
I still don't know what Goonies are.
No. Hold on a second, Rach. So this comment is interesting because, Star Frontiers is under the OGL. Oh, well, okay, there we go. Oh, and all those Rebound TSR era books that were on sale at the Dr. Hobby Shop Museum. That's not really that. Yeah, so that's not even selling like your own content or new content. That was taking roached content and putting new covers on it and selling as collectibles. I'm not saying that Mario did that because we don't know who Mario is.
Yeah, we're all just so dumbfounded.
I'm sure he's going to go back in his bottle and enjoy himself after this. But yes, let's see. All of the no companies that signed up. James, whatever I understand on this is that there have been no major players that have announced they have signed the 1.1. Take that to mean what you will, but that there's been no announcements, and there were supposed to have been announcements that haven't been. Why, thank you. Thank you, Tammy. I do appreciate it. Hey, Don, how is stealing other systems going? Your shit Interstellar game is being watched.
Watched by who? The FBI? Oh my God! Everybody gets scared.
Yeah. So I was gonna make a mention about doing quality work, but since a certain attorney has to rewrite their initial submission because apparently they can't work. I don't know if it's even worth mentioning that. But
I don't know that any of it's worth really mentioning.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. It's in the court record. It's in the court record.
It sounds like this is not a match made in heaven for them.
No. Well, actually, it is a match made in heaven. For
functioning wise, yes. However, when you pay a lawyer to get certain stuff done for you, one would expect that they wouldn't be like taking advantage of you and like not doing their job.
But when you're somebody that.
But then again, I guess when you're like illiterate and like ignorant yourself, you
can't
tell when they're doing or not doing their job.
Well,
I don't know what help somebody could get, but
just bill me. I'll write it off to my vape shop. Unacceptable naughty professor. If they require current 1.0 content to be removed, that would decimate a huge chunk from the drive-through RPG library, including most of my stuff, your stuff, my stuff, Barrel Rider games, Monkey Blood Designs. I'm not talking major companies. I am talking prolific publishers of OSR material and material that's under the open game license for other games. It's going to be rough.
I'm so sorry. Can we just bring it back a little bit to our health as humans?
Yes.
Our friend Mario here,
who's apparently suffering.
I use the term loosely. Our person here, Mario, comes on here and just starts talking mad shit when we're here trying to address a very serious issue of things that are changing in this community. And, when you can't meet that in the community and in this forum, that's ridiculous. If we all agree on the same thing and you just continually tear somebody down or just whack away at the whole morale of what we're all trying to do, it's not going to change what we're trying to do. You are just not going to be part of it because you're a laughing stock.
Right. And folks, listen, let's just take this a step back and listen. Am I playing a little
the Goonies, whatever the fuck they are?
Am I playing a little bit of here's the kid that got left out. When you were playing softball, you know, the person that you put in like left outfield. That's
that was always me.
well, because you weren't athletic, or you could have been Mario. But here's the thing. When you come into a community and all you do is mouth off shit, you think that you're puffing your chest up, but what you're really doing is showing that you're an ass. All right, that you're immature. Can't argue that one.
Yeah, like we all get together to, go up against, Watsy and try to like affect change with what they're trying to do. And you're sitting there talking your little shit. Like that's, oh my God, it is trifling.
Yeah.
It is absolutely trifling. And, it's just pure shit. So, everybody sees what you are. And, as coalitions start to form, and people like are really doing serious grassroots advocacy, you're going to be asked the fuck out.
Right.
You're already asked the fuck out, but you're going to be asked the fuck out even harder because nobody wants.
Here's the thing, folks. When this all sorts out, when this 1.1, 1.0 sorts out, no matter how it goes, it's going to be painful. There's going to be a transitory period, and everybody who's either a gamer or a small producer or a large producer is going to have to work their way through it. Okay?
So it's good that he's showing people what not to do.
Don't turn into the bitter...
Just because we're afraid. Sometimes we try to, like, we're like animals in a trap, like, we're afraid, so we're going to, like, try to bite at, we're trying to bite at somebody else, and it's like, not really being able to understand a hand of help.
Right.
So, yeah, he just demonstrates what not to do. All right, I'm done. I'm tirade.
Back to Rachel's point. His way of coping is to huff and puff and try to blow something down. It has worked so many times for him. It doesn't work here, and that's because people like Mario. Okay, and we're going to do this as a case in point. I've dealt with them as a cop. Usually they're the ones that mouth off until you get into their face, and then they slink off, muttering because they're going to get the last word.
Yes.
And as Mario is going to do right now, he's going to try to get the last word. And the only reason why I haven't blocked Mario, and when Mario sobers up, he'll realize this. And the reason why I'm putting up all his comments on the screen is
I think it's wonderful that we put it up because we need to have him be seen for what he is.
Well, no, and I'm putting them up for another reason. Since we already can prove who Mario is, all right, and that's not enough. So Mario, I'm not telling you any secrets. I can already prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, who Mario is. And when I prove that in court, it'll be sweet. So, Mario, assuming you own some properties, figure out which ones you think you need to sell to pay back my.
No, we'll have our pick, darling.
Yeah, we'll have our pick. So, but Mario, don't worry. I'm not feeding the trolls. I'm just making sure that your comments get up on my screen so I don't get lost if you unsubscribe. Because this, by the way,
it's just always good to have a record of all the participation because,
by the way,
that's how the channel functions.
This is a video that I am sure we can get the judge to watch. Figure that one out.
Well, because I'm in it.
No. Unacceptable naughty professor. I have a day job. So I don't depend on selling my stuff. But even so, this 1.1 stuff has been stressful. I don't think I will quit working on stuff, but I need to find a legal outlet, I guess. So like I said, I'm taking my continual light and I am going to rework it to remove open game content from it, SRD content from it, so I can publish it without either. Kind of like Kevin Crawford puts out stuff that is OSR compatible with D&D out of the box, and there's no OGL involved in his releases. That's what we're going to have to be looking at, whether, even if Wizards of the Coast backs off. Because for your own mental health, your own mental sanity, your own ability to relax, you need to know that you don't have your sword of Damocles above your neck, ready to come down. And where's it going? Oh, well, we changed our mind again, and now we're going to take away. You can't have that. You can't have that. It doesn't work that way.
So you're way around is to say like to rebuild the game and
rebuild the game,
have freedom.
and release it under
Yeah.
Creative Commons, so other publishers can use the core of what I wrote and build upon it and make other games. Because that's what a community is about, right? And that's why we're having this session here as a community, is
Yes.
to support each other. So when somebody comes in half cocked, half in the bag, and probably high on something, and I'm just observing as a law enforcement professional who dealt with this for 20 years, the type of words I'm hearing, I would usually be, back in my day, I would be assuming it would be crack. Today, you'd be assuming it would be meth.
There's so many different,
but
explanations.
Yes.
We don't need to go into them.
But suffice to say, you're coming into this community, you don't belong. This community is about people who want to belong.
Which one of these is not like the other?
It's kind of like the old Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not the same.
I couldn't remember that.
It's not like the other. Tell us which one, and you'll win this game. And that's what it is. Now, and I'm not saying you have to be a conformist to be part of a community and to get support from people,
or that you can't. But you don't say how you feel about certain things.
But when to come in and antagonize for the sake of antagonizing,
yes,
is at best immature. At best, that
is at best.
At best, at worst, you're psychotic. I'm not a medical professional. I can't make that definition. However, as a law enforcement officer, we had to play every role, including shrink on the street, and I would have been like, "Oh man, I'm dealing with a psycho." Mm-hmm. So I mean, you play with it from there. So as a community, you have to accept, even now, right? You're going to go into communities and you're going to be talking about OGL 1.1, and you're going to have somebody going, "Well, I don't see what the problem is. I think that Wizards of the Coast should be able to make all the money they want off their property, and if you don't agree, you should just walk away." It's not so easy when you have companies like Paizo, Goodman Games, Troll Lord Games, and others that employ people, right? They're not responsible just for themselves. They are responsible for people, employees and
their families.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, essentially, Wizards of the Coast is telling them, well, you know what? Tough shit. And it's not like Wizards of the Coast is going to go, yeah, we'll hire the creators that you're going to have to let go because of this. They're not saying that, because Wizards of the Coast doesn't know how to create. They don't create adventures that are publishable.
And then how is this inclusive? Wouldn't you want people to be able to do a little something and recreate the game in certain ways, or bring it to many different populations and many people with all sorts of differences? And then, because not everybody with Wizards of the Coast is going to be able to write to everyone's sensibilities. So for the sake of inclusivity, wouldn't you want to have people from every different walk, every different background? Because everybody deserves D&D, just like everybody deserves, like yoga and stuff like that.
Well,
so sort of making it like a philosophy of
well, and that is you would think that is true. Mm-hmm. Now, James Seymour makes a point: compatible with the world's most popular role-playing game was used well before the OGL. Yes, and it was, and I think the Mayfair lawsuit, they won, but they lost because they basically went broke, which is, what a lot of times lawsuits are meant to be. They're meant to say, I can outlast you, right? So good luck on that. Mm-hmm. But, that is certainly a way to go. And it's also a way that you can take it and look at what was acceptable back then and look at those Mayfair products and Roll Age products and go, okay, so how am I going to make this now for the OSR? Or how am I going to use this with Pathfinder? How close can I get using terms that are not covered under the SRD. And if you're not playing to the SRD, you have a lot more leeway in a lot of ways. Yes, a lot of publishers are going to be looking to. I've spoken with a number of publishers today, a number of people who have created rule sets, and big and small, and they are all even like Rob, looking to rewrite their games away from the open game license, and that is not to the advantage of Wizards of the Coast, because they forget something. A lot of players that play OGL games that aren't Wizards of the Coast games also play 5e. But now when you force them away from their comfort zone and they bitter against Wizards of the Coast and 5e, it's not going to go well. Not going to go well for Wizards. So, yeah, I think they shot themselves in the foot. But the stress that this community is going through, look at what Mario did. There are people that you may know that are going to hit that kind of stress level over this. He didn't.
Right. It's sort of that very self-destructive stress level, where you can bite hands that help you, or maybe not in this case because he's burnt too many bridges, but if you're a different company or person, but yeah, like being able to come together.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of issues here that have, I mean, we're talking about the issues that we may as publishers, big and small, suffer, but there's other things. There's companies like Kickstarter which make most of their, the largest chunk of their money comes from games, right?
Oh, really?
Yes, and
that's mainly
yes. That's a huge part of Kickstarter these days is funding games.
Oh,
and if you are taxing any Kickstarter above $750,000, or any company that uses the OGL to publish on Kickstarter,
what does that do to that economy?
Well, if you start publishing less games through Kickstarter, it's going to mean less money going to Kickstarter. Maybe a downsizing. Yeah. What about Drive-Thru? Drive-Thru makes the bulk of their monies off of OGL games. Now, what if you're no longer able to sell them? This is a shot across the bow, across the gaming community. And what I have seen, all right, this I think is very important, especially when it comes to things like mental health. I have seen that today.
Yeah.
The number of people reaching out to me today across
the stress and anxiety.
But across this, they reach out to me because they want answers.
Mm-hmm.
And the assumption is I have answers. And I have answers. Some of them I can't give. I apologize for that. I will give them when I can. But at this point, there are some that I just can't give. But they also are people who, in the past, may have said things about Tenkar, Eric Tenkar, that would make Mario squeal with glee.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
All right. Honest to God. Reaching out to me and saying, hey, I know you're following this OGL thing, and we all have to come together. And
there you go.
And can we work together on this? That to me,
certain things aside, we could deal with that stuff later.
Right.
Well, but or just agree to disagree for now.
Right. I think it's what it is.
And join force.
Because you know what, folks? When that starts happening on a personal level, I can guarantee you that's happening on a corporate level. It's happening on a company level. Because the companies in the OSR and in the OGL world and RPGs in general, you reach a certain size, you all start knowing each other. And maybe you don't maybe John hates Jack, but Jack likes Paul, but Paul thinks that Jack is a piece of shit. You know what? When you hit these levels of trauma, and this is kind of trauma, this is traumatic. This is shock to the system, the psyche.
Eric, last time when Mario was on, he brought up this whole conversation about how traumatized people traumatize others, and
yes,
it's just like an extension of that, and then it goes up into the corporate world, and
Yeah, well, so that...
Or it starts up there and trickles down to...
It could.
Yeah.
But this level of shock to the system is going to bring, in my opinion, strange bedfellows together. I've used this
Yeah.
terminology elsewhere,
Mhm.
but I suspect in the next couple of weeks, people are going to be going, "What company is working with who to do what?" You're going to be amazed. All right, that's a prediction that I'm making. Okay, you're going to be amazed at what comes out in the next couple of weeks. That's the best thing that's going to come out of this. Wizards of the Coast is going to be blindsided. The fact that they took a diverse and dispersed community of publishers and has going because of this, it's going to bring them together. Because united, they can fight this out. Individually, they'll get knocked over one at a time, like individual bowling pins. Okay, they can only succeed by standing together, and I think that knowledge is going to sink in. I have that kind of faith in the publishers I know. You can't have Rob. You can't have freedom if everybody is a subject and not a citizen.
Too right.
You're right, and it isn't an open. Again, 1.1. Whatever they want to call it an open game license. Lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. Okay. You can smear shit on a cake. It's still shit. It ain't chocolate. Okay. So honestly, I don't care what you call it. It doesn't change what it is. An open license doesn't have the restrictions and the qualifications and the oh, and by the way, we have the rights to everything that you submit and write under 1.1. That isn't an open license. You can call it whatever you want.
It's just exploitive.
It's exploitive. Yes. Sparky, this is what hurts the most. I know a lot of guys over at Troll Lord. I live up the road from them. This is going to impact people I care about. I can make my own content, but this is about my people. Troll Lord has already stated. When I was driving home from Long Island, I was getting PMs. Apparently, on their Twitter, they are no longer using the open game license on the next products.
Wow.
They're going to be, I believe, released under the Siege engine and the Siege engine license. I don't know the legalities. Okay, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but it's certainly interesting to see. Actually, I have a question. I don't know. The new Hackmaster, which is what, Hackmaster 5th edition or whatever it is that still open game license? I kind of think it wasn't, but I'm not sure. I never bought the full rules. I only had the basic rules, and they're packed away in a closet somewhere. Because it could be too that Kenzer has I think an IP lawyer that's one of the owners there, and might be a reason why they went away from that. Now it's making people like Frank Metzner and others from Eldritch Enterprises from back in the day when the OGL first came out, and they refused to go open game license. Now makes them seem that they weren't as cuckoo crazy as a lot of people thought for them to be against it. This move is an attempt to reduce us to creative serfdom. Oh, yes. You are serfdom or plantation work, however you want to call it. You're working for the man. Slavery. Yeah. And that's a word you can't use at Wizards of the Coast in your products, by the way, unless you're them. And then they go, oh, well, we did.
Just call it something happy, joy. Happy, that'll be great.
Yeah. So
call it an opportunity.
Because if you read the facts, the original, there's all this misinformation about the upcoming 1.1, the new OGL from mid-December. If you read that and you see their wording of it, it's all about 5e and 1D&D. It's all about serving that game, not serving any other gaming community, not serving Pathfinder, not serving Troll Lord Games and Castle Crusades and DCC and Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerer's Hyperborea, or is it oh my god, OSC, Labyrinth Lord, Osric, Sword of Wizardry. It's not about any of those games. Not about Cepheus. It's all about 1D&D. And if you look at what they're calling the next edition, think about what they're calling it. 1D&D. It can only be one. That's what they're saying. And everything else has to wither on the vine and die. And 2023 is the year to do it. 2023, the down year between editions, clear the slate, salt the earth, kill what's there now, and then we'll grow it new. Man, I sound depressing saying that shit.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a big warlord kind of.
Yeah,
way back in like the guys who assaulted Carthage or whatever.
Derek, I don't think you're going to hear an email from One Bookshelf on this, because until they know for sure, and they might, I don't know if they were part of the NDA, if they got an early look at this, but they have a personal or one-on-one license with Witches of the Coast for their DMs Guild. And I suspect that the DMs Guild is it's a topic they don't even want to get close to right now. So, by the way, D&D Beyond, their forums, word is that they've been deleting comments. They've been leading up a lot of comments, but apparently the more the really serious anti-Wizards of the Coast comments are being deleted. It's what I've been told. Yes, Arduin was a D&D drop-in and never had permission to even send cease and desist. Arduin, Bloody Arduin is, I think, in the works for later in 2023. I am hoping to see if I can shake down the Arduin guys for an early playtest. When is the playtest? So,
wait, Arduin
is George
could be impacted by this,
Arduin,
or it's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
I have trouble fully understanding what things are under this and what things are not.
Arduin never went open game license.
Okay.
So I think somebody's sweeping off their bender now.
Or they got afraid.
Are they positive or negative answers? Give us crumbs. We're starving. Sparky. I went from being fairly positive about how things looked earlier this week and correcting people and saying, no, my understanding, what I've been told is 1D&D is an opt-in, and if you don't opt in to the 1.1, you're okay. 1.0 is still okay for you. When it went, then that went to shit last night. Yeah, last night. And since then, I had to turn off my sound for this computer, because otherwise you'd be hearing PMs popping through constantly. I'll have to deal with them at the end of this. But yeah, it doesn't look good, and when large publishers are not happy and are reacting like Trollord games. Trollord doing a 5e sale, selling off their 5e stuff. They're not just doing that because, well, we can't publish.
It's not just for after Christmas.
It's not the after Christmas sale. It's $10 for print hardcover books.
Oh, wow.
That's a good deal, but it means that these lines are dead.
Wow. And
it also means that even if Wizards of the Coast said, just joshing, yeah, we're just joshing, we're not removing it, the damage is done. The damage is done. You can't believe how damaging this is.
I mean, if they sort of like apologized and like opened something up to be collaborative, like in a real way, nobody's
gonna trust them.
Okay, so their trust is totally blown.
James Seymour, ready for this, Rach?
What's that?
Shot in the dark, and you're to blame. You give RPG a bad name.
Bad name.
There you go. I would, Tom. I will put money into a crowdfund legal fund to fight Wizards of the Coast. I haven't mentioned that to my connections yet, but I will. I'm sure they're floating it amongst various publishers at this point, but you know, I would not disagree. By the way, I almost forgot this, and I want to apologize to Grimm.
Oh.
All right, there is a change.org.
Oh wow, a petition.
A petition.
Great.
It's got well over 1,000 signups. It only went up last night, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't normally give much weight to these, but I will on this one because if we can get enough people in the community to show Wizards is looking at Wizards is worried about public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you get 20, 30, 40,000 people to sign this petition and then it gets mentioned in a news article,
Oh yeah.
then it becomes and be like, Sam, you told me that this was a good idea. Well, it was a good idea.
At the time.
Sam, you told me we'd make lots of dollars on this. I just see Hasbro stock going down and our PR is really bad. Well, you know what they say, boss? All PR is good PR. Not this PR, you dumb fuck. That's what I'm seeing behind the scenes. I suspect. Hackmaster 4E had an expiration date, yes. But what about the follow-up on that? Was it 5th edition, 6th edition, whatever it was? I don't believe there was an OGL. No discussion of OGL is being allowed on D&D Discord and being banned on Reddit. Well, I guess Wizards of the Coast owns the D&D. Oh, that might be why. Oh, it's banned on Reddit. So my little video, no wonder, went nowhere. Got banned on Reddit.
Wait, what is it? I don't understand.
Reddit's banning all this stuff.
Oh, so they're owned.
Yeah. By the way, folks, I'm getting PMs on my watch right now. So it's like, so folks, how do you cope with this stress? I'm coping with this stress
by talking, by reaching out to others,
and saying I'm going to rewrite this.
I'm
going to make it.
Yeah.
I am going to outplay Wizards at their game.
Coming at it from an empowered way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard the Arcana maybe. Here's the problem. If it's OGL is 1.0 or 1.0A, they're no longer authorized OGL, so that you'd have to release under Creative Commons or something like that. So, and Ty snuck in. Ty.
Yay.
Welcome. By the way, folks, when it comes to lawyers, Ty is the exception. He's like the one that proves it. Like, all lawyers are shit, except for Ty Beard and a handful of others in the gaming community. So,
our team,
yes. Our team,
our legal team,
our legal team, fucking rocks, man.
Yeah, you have to include them in like lawyers that are exceptional.
Yeah, they are well worth somebody else's money. Did I say that out loud? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not this. The NPR article that was shite, but it could have been a preemptive strike, but it was shite. Everybody needs to sign the petition. Yes. Again, sign it, folks. It's up there. I'll try to put a link up after the. You know what? I can't. I can't put a link up because I don't have it up on my tabs. You're gonna have to. I know it's a pain in the ass to type all this out, but
what are you trying to do?
The change.org. I can't. I don't think I can grab it from my.
Can we put it inside when we finish the video? Can we put it inside the under box?
Yeah, but I have to be able. I can, but I have to open it up somewhere else. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, it won't be right away because I'm gonna have to do like a.
Right, it won't be an instant gratification. Just once you give it an hour. Half an hour.
Yeah. Derek, I'm not saying the petition on its own will have an impact. I am suggesting to people. All right. And this is there's a Discord, which I think actually I will put that link up too. There's a Discord about the OGL to fight the OGL with information on who to contact at Wizards of the Coast. Don't call them up and be like Mario. Don't be like Mario. Okay, be like Tenkar.
Don't talk about the Goonies.
Yeah, don't be like, yeah. Coach Cobb, okay, hey, listen, I've been playing D&D in its various forms since 1979. My name is Rach Tenkar, and I just see what I understand is going on with the OGL 1.1. Really disappoints me because it's going to affect a lot of my third-party publishers that support D&D and its various iterations. And if this is the future of D&D, then I'm very disappointed. I won't be part of it. something like that. That's really what you got to do. So I could probably find that. Hold on a second. I could probably find that email. This is one of those emails that came in earlier today.
They can't see that.
No,
Okay.
no, they can't. They can't. They. I don't want to rate my experience at Amazon. No, I don't. Gosh darn it. There we go. Okay. Here, I'm going to drop this. I can do this. This is going to give you all the information. If you want something that's going to be effective, if you want to deal with this, like they do in politics, and Ty's embarrassed. Oh shucks.
No.
Rob, I'm going to say Ty that you were right about this being Wizards' axis of attack on the legal front. Ty, you got a concession there from Rob that is rarely heard and seen, and now you have it in writing, so you could frame that. I could give you a screenshot of this later, because Rob is usually right. I've been working on a monster supplement for the OSR, doing my own illustrations. Going to just keep on that with that now. That's how I'm coping.
Nice.
The Arcane Library is stripping all the OGL gremlins out of her Shadow Dark RPG and offering a perpetual irrevocable OGL for anyone to create for Shadow Dark. That's cool. I feel horrible for Troller Games. First, Gale screws them over hard. It took them years for to weather that particular storm. Now this. Gale is not in the board of directors of Hasbro. I don't believe she's been in the best of health recently. So, I wish her better health.
Yeah.
The Arcanum 30th anniversary is in hand. It is Creative Commons. Awesome. Good to hear. Ty, Rob, that's one time I wish I was wrong, but thanks. The more noise we make, the louder we make it, the better. Wizards of the Coast is likely hoping this blows over by next week. Yeah, no, we have to increase the pressure, ramp it up. I'm not raising an army of Tenkar's minions, but if I were, I would say ramp this shit up. So, what's the difference between OGL and Creative Commons? Well, first off, OGL is not from Wizards of the Coast, so they can't know. So Creative Commons, you can't revoke it. Once it's in place, it's there, and it has share alikes, commercial, non-commercial licenses. So you have to decide which one you're going to release under.
Oh, so I think you release your things under Creative Commons.
I've released videos under Creative Commons.
Yes, that's what I mean to say.
Yes, I released certain videos. I released certain videos under Creative Commons with the idea that somebody was going to give me a takedown or a legal threat. How did I ever expect that to happen? I must be clairvoyant or something. And
somebody's just a crappy poker player.
Yep. So I'm curious if something in popular media, D&D, affects a First Amendment argument. I don't know. That's a good question. So here is the link.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting.
Here's the link to the Discord. Now, I have not checked. This Discord, it's called Defend the OGL. And I don't know if I can see how many people are here. I don't think I can necessarily. Let's see. No, but there are a no. I think it's 1,200 as of late this afternoon. So God knows it could be 2,000 people now. Go to the Discord server, join them. They will tell you how to, like I said, call Wizards, call Hasbro, emails. There's a lot of things you can do. My job is the messenger, right? I'm there to get this information out there. I will be putting this link at the end of my videos as either in the details or as a pinned comment. I'll include it on my blog post. The only way this gets better is by us together.
Standing together.
There you go.
Showing up for one another.
Ty, I had Tenkar's Minions t-shirts ready to go, and I was hit with a
Mm.
copyright
Oh yeah,
violation
yeah.
by one of the printers, and the other printer who would do it just prints shitty shirts. So the really good looking shirts I could get. Although actually no, I do have one printer that can do good looking shirts, but it won't mail them individually out to people. I have to take them in. So what I will probably
Oh,
do,
you have to get it and then send it.
all right. So what I
Mm-hmm.
may do is like before North Texas, take an order from a bunch of people.
Oh, have it
Uh,
sent over there?
well, at cost, I could send it to Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could send it to Mike, and then we can make sure that people get their orders. That's an idea. Thank you for making me think about that, Ty. Thank you. A tanker's minions tankered, but that yeah, you know what?
Tankard, like a tank top?
No,
What do you mean?
a tankard.
Oh, it's something to drink from.
Yes,
Oh,
like a
oh, oh.
stein. I have plenty of steins. Oh my god, folks, but they're not that kind of stein. Tankar's minion tankard, yes. 22 people watching for a gamer's health. That's awesome. It's we actually hit 65 last night, Glenn and I. That live stream I think has well over 600 views now.
Nice.
And we're doing tomorrow at noon. Myself, none other than Rob Conley, and probably one or two others from the Dungeons and Dragons and Discord. Not the D, triple D.
It's the
random
generated party.
Well, random party generator because that's
it is.
RPG.
Oh.
You got it. It doesn't sound as smooth, but when you abbreviate it, RPG. There's supposed to be a special RPG tomorrow at 12 noon. We're going to be discussing this. We're going to give the opinions of publishers who have published under the OGL, like Rob, like Greg, like Tim, like myself. And we are small publishers, but this applies to all of us. And again, who here, I spoke, not a big secret, okay? I was speaking with James Raggy right before coming into here, and he had similar questions. And he was like, well, under the OGL, wasn't I giving up certain rights? And yes, you were. But you could say, this is designated product identity. This is designated open game license. You didn't have to give, I would open up everything, but you didn't have to. And certain publishers, certain games certainly didn't. Well, guess what? You publish under 1.1, you are telling Wizards, yes, I own it, but you get all the rights to it. You want to put it on a t-shirt? Put it on a t-shirt. Make it into a computer game. Do whatever you want with my work, and you don't have to pay me shit. That's a lot of rights to give up. So the petition is over 1,800.
Oh, wow.
That's growing
good stuff.
Very fast.
Keep it going.
I mean, folks, if you have a video channel, if you have a blog, if you have a social media presence, get that link out. Get the Discord link out. The Discord link is, again, very important because, and again, I'm going to put up on the screen for a moment. This link is very important because it tells you, just like a well-run political campaign.
Right, it's got the letter
template,
yeah.
Who to call, who to ask for. It gives you the numbers. It gives you the addresses. This is well done, well organized. Please, it's a resource. Use it. Use it. If it's not just the OSR, if the gaming community means something to you, if being part of this means something to you, take an active stand. Maybe your active stand is to do a video on this. Maybe your active stand is to write an email or make a phone call or participate in social media. Again, if you see an OGL 1.1 thread and it's telling you about the evils of the 1.1 OGL, comment on it. Oh my God, is it really this bad? You don't have to be deep. Holy, you know what? When Wizards intern comes in on Monday morning, or whoever had got stuck working the weekend on this one, and they go, boss, yeah, okay, well, I counted 79 Facebook threads in these communities with these many reactions and these many comments, and 85% of the comments were basically like, we're a bunch of cocksuckers. Well, then it takes you somewhere, right? Wizards of the Coast lives or dies by social media. That's why they give outstanding weight to certain voices. This is the time to get your fucking voice heard. Don't allow yourself to be unheard. And the only way you're not going to be heard is if you don't speak up. That makes sense?
That it does.
All right. I don't always make sense when I get off on these
Yes.
rants. So just want to make sure. Tybeard, how about an Ein Volk, Ein Reich, Ein D&D Church for Gen Con? Well, first off, 80% of the gaming community is going to have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 20% of us that are history majors are going to go, oh, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. Yes, Tom won.
Yeah, at the convention.
Yes, and
at
and
ShireCon.
Yes, and that was actually I believe one of the ones that was like, we canceled your order, and then he sent me the shirt. We canceled your order.
You paid for it. We're sending it to you and only you, and that's it.
No.
Just this one.
I believe they actually refunded my money on that one.
Oh, really? So you got it free?
I got it free.
They're like, oh, we're sorry for the confusion. Enjoy your shirt.
That wasn't even that. They canceled it, and it must have gotten printed right before they canceled it, so it still went through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Again, Ty, it was a good shirt. I'm just saying, time and a place, and I don't think Gen Con would be the time or the place. And I got one for my birthday from the good old husband. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, the traumatic tankards are very nice. I do have ones with the Eric oh my God, Quigley artwork on it.
Yes.
Great artwork.
The older
the older tavern. Explain OGL, SRD, and Creative Commons. What does each do? All right. I'm not going to explain OGL 1.1 because it's not an open license. All right. Lipstick on a pig. Shit on a cake. It's not chocolate cake. Okay. Open game license. Open game license. If you follow the instructions and rules as set out in this license, you can use the system resource document, the SRD, to use verbiage and presentation and names like Magic Missile. I think they took out most of the nice was Magic Aura. I think it's just Magic Aura and the SRD, but you can use things that Wizards of the Coast might normally consider to be intellectual property. If it's in the SRD, you can use it freely, so long as you accompany your product with a full copy of the OGL, the Open Game License. Creative Commons allows you to, it's different, it's a number of different licenses under Creative Commons. Some are commercial, some are share and share alike, some are non-commercial, but effectively it is a licensing structure that allows you to put material out and say, hey, this is my copyright. But with this license, I am allowing you, Joe Schmo, to use my work to create new work, like use my Continual Light rules to create adventures for Continual Light and stuff like that. So Creative Commons, and if Rob is still in here, I'm sure Rob would do a lot better explaining it than I did. But that's the long story short. I am not a lawyer. Don't interpret anything I said as legal advice. Ty is a lawyer, but when he's on my show, don't take anything he says as legal advice because he's not.
His lawyer hat is not on.
Right, his lawyer's hat is not on. Just like when Joe the lawyer is on every other Friday. Joe is a lawyer. His lawyer hat is not on. So, can a tanker be found in an internet search? Oh, jeez. Yes, it can. I forget what. I'd have to find out which print house has it. It's one of them. I'd have to check.
Not
yeah, Tom. I have to find those links again.
Not Redbubble.
No, it wasn't Redbubble. It was before Redbubble. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not Cafe Press.
It could be Cafe Press.
Could be.
Yes. Hold on a second. I believe it is on Cafe Press. Let's see if this logs me in automatically. And
Otherwise, I'm out of options because I don't know anymore.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm pretty sure it is Cafe Press. I hate when I got the pop-ups. The pop-ups suck. Okay. My account, yada yada yada.
Sure.
That's the
On
reason.
the book.
Yeah, but where I don't. I have to look for it later. Under my.
Yeah, it might not be on this.
I don't know if it's. Oh, no.
Wait, what are those two coming on? There's the last
No,
one.
those are magnets. They've only got the
shirt.
the
Oh,
recent
okay. Only the Tenkar, the minions.
Right, and the stuff that they wouldn't really let me sell again. So
Okay.
So I'll have to look for it. I'm sorry. I didn't think there'd be that big a demand for it, but at this point, there maybe is a big enough demand. There might be. I'm gonna have to look on the blog to find the link. Is what's gonna come down to. If I do it live, we'll be here all night, and we were here all night on New Year's Eve.
He's Tabletop Tom is sending it to the blog because I guess it must still be posted there.
I'd have to find it. Yeah. Yes, the OGL went from about 900 to 1,000 words to 9,000. A lot of which is justifying why the changes are there. So why those justifications were in the open game license, I don't know. It's insane. Yes, Rob will explain it tomorrow. So come tomorrow at noon. Dun dun dun. And Rob will explain OGL, SRD, Creative Commons. Again, Rob is not a lawyer, but this man knows contracts, breaks them down, and once you understand that, you would never write for the DMs Guild. So, yeah, Joe the lawyer put a video up on this stuff earlier today. You should actually catch it. It's very good. Yeah, Cafe Press. I just gotta find it within it. It's like showing my recent uploads. So I don't know. Ty Beard, I do think that Wizards of the Coast OGL 1.1 is the greatest marketing fiasco since New Coke and maybe even the Edsel. That's pretty. And you're not the only one to make that New Coke reference.
New Coke and Bill Cosby.
Yes. But you know what? There's a crossing of the streams there, which I won't mention, where we got the other person talking about it. So just saying. James Seymour, I may be a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. This is for entertainment information only. And it's not legal advice. That's Joe. That was Joe. It was me. I was like, this is great. I am not your lawyer. It's like, okay. New Coke was work of genius. They had to abandon the original formula for 1 year to avoid losing their IP rights to the formula. And after a year, they were able to re-release the original formula. It is insane how that shit worked. I wonder if Wizards of the Coast has seen how aggressive Games Workshop has been about their IP and thinking, we need some of that. Because, Games Workshop has such amazing goodwill from the gaming community at large. Oh, man.
I think somebody's going to make merch with like New Coke. And, New Coke and D&D.
Yeah. OGL 1.1.
I wonder if they'll include Bill Cosby.
With the New Coke kind of logo instead.
Yeah.
Like merge the two. Yeah, and then Photoshop Bill Cosby wearing it. There you go. That could be it.
None of us have those skills, by the way.
Tammy just sent me a message. Tammy's just like, sorry. I thought it was the real one. Jeffrey Sinclair. The whole thing is going to backfire against Wizards of the Coast in a really tragic way. They're going to go from financially suffering to becoming pariahs in the industry. Yeah, again, this is something where on paper, somebody thought this was a good idea. Somebody was like, well, hey, Mr. Cox, Mr. Cox. Right, welcome back, Cotter. But Chris Cox is now the president of Hasbro. He was the president of Wizards of the Coast. I'm sure when this was first thought up. Mr. Cox, I got an idea for you. I thought you were
looking at the picture and saying, Mr. Cox.
No, Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox, and my best Epstein, Mr. Cox, I got a great idea for you. Why don't we take OGL 1.0, right? And we unauthorize it. Well, what do you mean by unauthorized? We unauthorize it. No, what the fuck do you mean we unauthorize it? Well, you see, we unauthorize it. Then they have no OGL. And then we get the 1.1, which was originally open, but it's really closed. But it's a horrible license, but they have no choice. And if they don't come in, we put them out of business. Is that legit? I talked to a lawyer. What did they say? We have enough money. What does that actually mean? Well, it means it might not be legit, but we could sue them, and then most of them will. You know what? You might just be crazy enough for that to work. Give me a 1.1. Okay, like 1,000 words like the original one. No. Give me 9,000 words with explanations as to why this is the right thing that we're doing. Really? Pretend that you're Yahtzee Germany and you need to explain your actions and make it look good for the world. Can you do that in 9,000 words? Yeah. All right. Now go back with the rest of the sweat hogs and get to work. You got it, boss. That is the behind the scenes. And if this ever gets pulled out of his own video, it's going to be insane. I could do that as a YouTube short,
but
right?
It would have to be hipster sweat hogs.
Hipster sweat hogs, sir. Oh my God! I'm giving myself a headache. Yeah. All right, I lost my place here.
See, those are dark. Keep going down.
Yep. Oh yeah, here's Jeffrey. Okay. Games Workshop is ass hats. Yes, they are. Wearing it more like I want to be tattooed on this. You are not allowed to channel the power of Welcome Back Cotter. Horseshack is not allowed in this dojo. I'm sorry. We got you unwelcome back cocks. There you go. Yeah. And now before YouTube demonetizes this, it is spelled Chris. It's first name Chris, last name my parents hated me, COCKS. So I really feel sorry for the man.
Are you sure it's not COX?
No. I had to look it up because somebody sent me an IM and it was like mentioned it as COX. I went, I didn't remember that. And I went to the article. And it's spelled out like I took out my and laid it on the table. So maybe that's why we have 1.1. Maybe this man grew up with this horrible name and decided, I'm going to get revenge on all those nerds that made fun of me and called me Chris Cox, which was my real name, and then laughed. I'm going to get back at them. I'm going to get back at those mother effers. God damn you and your Cox jokes. And maybe that's why we got 1.1. James, will this become known as the Great FRPG Schism? And a new date, BO before OGL 1.1 and AO. Well, BO in this industry would have meant any gamer convention. There's a lot of BO. So,
especially from Mario.
Oh, Mario, get your hands out of your pants. We don't do that in public, Mario. Come on, Mario. Put it back in. Nobody can see it in the first place. But nobody wants to see it, Mario. Stop doing that. Who knows where your hands have been? Well, now we know where your hands have been. Stop touching things. Get your hands out of the cookie jar. Your brother's going to eat those cookies later. But I touched them all. That didn't matter. They're still going to eat those cookies. Keep. Mario. I'm sober, folks. I'm just sorry. I'm just getting a little. I'm getting a little Cox crazy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Rob, I bet Games Workshop is just green with envy right now. Games Workshop stopped supporting fan content years ago. They already did the big takedown last year. It could be worse. He could have been Richard Cox. Oh, yeah, that's it. Christopher.
We must have seen that in those textbooks.
Yes. Hey. Who's my oh, I can't say that word because it's going to make it sound like another word. It's like ketchup. Hunts. Oh, no. No, we can't say that word.
I'm not saying it today.
Can't say that word because then we'll definitely get demonetized.
Or worse.
Or worse. Are any prominent folks supporting Wizards of the Coast publicly? No. No. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't a few random check marks on Twitter going like, oh, this is a great thing.
And I'm sure academia is
Oh,
absolutely
academia. But you know what they say. Anybody who plays D&D prior to 2020, when they made all the orcs like not they made them a random generated alignment so they couldn't all be evil. If you play D&D from before summer of 2020, you're a Yahtzee. So only and I'd like to say I rolled 5 6s and I got Yahtzee. But yeah, no, that's nobody prominent. Nobody prominent. Ty, Rob Conley, despite pissing customers off for 30 years, Games Workshop looks like a bunch of rookies compared to Wizards of the Coast. Listen, I said this on a Facebook post earlier today. Wizards of the Coast has already set an insanely high bar for this year in Gaming Stupid 2023. If they had closed down 2022 with this, they would have won 2022. Hands out. I mean, and we've had a lot of stupidity even from them. But this is beyond. This is you shot yourself in the dick and the foot at the same time. How did you manage? Mario, were you pulling out?
I was just gonna say he's hanging out with Mario.
Mario, were you just yanking on it because you thought it was yours, and then he tried to shoot your hands off it, and he shot right? Is that what happened, Mario? Were you abusing Wizards of the Coast in that federal courtroom out there on the West Coast? Because there's no other reason this could have happened, Mario. Damn it, Mario. Obviously, he's sleeping off a bender because he hasn't spoken up.
Or he got scared.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. My case is going to be busted.
I heard that Tenkar guy, he's got lead. I've heard him say that lead poisoning is deadly. I've heard him say comments like that. And I don't know what it means. I threw my pencils away when teacher told me that lead was dangerous. So now I write with crayons. Look, that's how I sign my name on my legal paperwork. Don, what puzzles me was what in the hell made Wizards of the Coast think this was going to be welcomed? Listen, no, if you ask anybody at Wizards of the Coast that's involved in gaming, that I'll say like probably even Chris Perkins. If you ask Chris Perkins what the reaction with this was, he'll probably be like, oh, you know what? Can I take off the first 2 weeks of January? Do you mind if I take them off? I'd like to go snorkeling without a snorkel. I just don't want to be around for this. But again, it's the suits. Somebody sold this as it's going to make us money. 2020, and if we're going to do it, 2020. Don't wait to 2024. Don't wait to 2024 when the game actually releases. Do it in 2023. And you clear the slate. And then you get rid of all those other companies. All those big companies stealing your money, Mr. Cox. They're stealing your money. Don't be a Cox. Take your money back. And that's what's going on. So, old school gamers are ists. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know, if
they're really down with the isms.
Ist. Don, meth is such a horrible drug. You know, when Mario starts spitting out teeth on his own, not no assistance from anybody else. Don't read into any of that.
No, you're basically talking about meth mouth, which is a very serious health concern for folks that
I'm a meth mouth.
Between meth and crack, like your nerves die, and that's why your teeth fall out.
Folks, yeah, just me. I don't want anybody like on Tenkar threatened to knock out teeth. No,
No, that's the explanation.
That's the explanation.
He was talking about like mouth and
Right.
what happens to oral hygiene when somebody has certain types of addictions.
So don't get bent out of shape, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're looking out for your health. We're looking out for your health, and we're as concerned for you as your concerned family is. They're not concerned. Well, then we're not either. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, good.
It's all good.
Never mind.
Jeffrey, you watch the one company that will gladly throw in with Hasbro is going to be Satine Phoenix and Jameson Stone, who are
Oh my
useless
god.
and worthless anywhere. They're sucking so badly they're willingly aligned with Wizards of the Coast, but they wouldn't be under the OGL. They will be under a separate contract. We've learned that, right?
Oh, and that other lady, the blonde lady on the YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know her name. I don't know what it is,
It's
but
okay.
I just saw her one time when you were putting the thing.
It's like, what the hell is
I
this?
was like, she's horrible.
Tom, I'm going to piss myself over the Mario comments.
I'm so glad we made you happy.
Well, if you do, make sure
as long as we brought joy to someone today.
Make sure to call Mario to change you because they have experience doing that. Not with themselves because they can't get the dexterity properly for that. They just, they got to work on it. Don, I will say, if Mario comes to my booth, I'd be happy to say hello to him and we can talk about him going after my daughter.
Too right.
So
we can all have a group discussion about that.
So to go off in the weeds just a little bit and be a little entertaining. My first GaryCon. Okay, my first GaryCon, I wasn't there with Rach.
No, I was working.
I was there with my future once a week work spouse, Bad Mike, and Zach Glazer, and we were at the hotel bar one night having a nice conversation. And it's crowded, and they are sitting on this bench with their backs against the glass that goes out to what would be a swimming pool in the summertime, but it's just a nice view. And I'm talking to them, so I have my back to the crowd, and as we're talking, I see Zach and Mike's eyes go from like this to like a cartoonish, like, whoop, and then I get the Tenkar. I went, yeah. Some people want to have a word with you. And I got led away. And I will be honest with you. Found out afterwards that Mike and Zach thought that Ken Whitman or Gareth Skarka were had a gang of people ready to beat me up outside the hotel because that's the direction I was being like kind of led toward. And I was like, all right, well, and the person that was leading me away had a very professional manner about them. And I was like, all right, either this shit is going down and I'm going to
There was something familiar.
Yeah. And I'm going to get my ass kicked, but not by some randos, but by people that were hired to do some physical violence. And then I get to the bar and it's like, Tenkar, we want to buy you around. I went, And it was 4 cops from different jurisdictions around the country buying me around because I had just retired. Technically still on the books, but running my time. And it was a beautiful thing. Now, did I come close to peeing myself? No. But I would have after the beating, I am sure, that I thought was about 50-50 chance I was going to get. So when I came back after about half an hour, they're like, you're alive. I'm like, yeah. Who was it? I go, bunch of cops.
Aww.
I'm like, wow, that was an imposing imposition. I go, yeah, that's how we do it. And, I'm not in my own jurisdiction, so you just follow along. And I didn't know it was cops until they brought me around. So there you go. Sparky, it's like, I forgot Phoenix and Stone even existed. Yeah, the worst part of the OGL. Yeah. Or the lady NPR interviewed, or the good my good friend, the reporter that did the hit piece on GaryCon and the wonderful piece on Gale at the same time. Yes, people like that. Hey Rach, I have to clean that up. I don't know what she. I fell behind. I don't know what she has to clean up.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, Sparky, how did it take me this long to notice there's a dachshund hanging over that tiny Christmas tree?
Oh, thank you.
That wasn't up last week.
No, this is a new acquisition. We hung it up this week. It was given to me as a Christmas present from my mother-in-law. She does oil painting. And yeah, so that is our little baby Donka. We've never had her on the show, I don't think.
No.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. But then we'll have to have it for the whole show, not the show like last.
Yeah, no, I don't think she has to.
Maybe when we do our next show from the Poconos, when we're up there in the Poconos, she's.
Oh, that's a good one because it won't disturb the kitty. Duncan and the kitty don't really mix because the kitty is definitely very skittish. Since she came inside, like she was living on the street until
2 years ago.
2 years ago in 2020, actually.
2 years.
2.5 years ago.
2 years, 2 months, because it was October.
Oh, okay. And yeah, so she came in and just is not used to other animals. She can't really mix with the other kitties in the household either. So
yeah, so she's her own girl.
But yeah, that's Donka back here.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for noticing her.
She is as sweet as she looks. So
I'm channeling her appreciating being noticed.
She'd be like,
she loves people and loves attention.
Walks in the park.
Yeah, our last walk in the park. They were having a training session for the park enforcement.
Park enforcement and urban park rangers from New York City.
Two agencies.
It's one agency, but 2 different divisions.
Oh, okay. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, how was it? Would you say it was like 40 people?
At least 40.
There's at least 40 people standing around, like,
and 3 different groups, and she got to go to each group.
It got petted by every parkie that was around, and she was just so happy. They were studying. They were learning about animal conditions in the parks, and they're like, "Oh, hey, here's an animal condition right here.
We have a lost dachshund.
We have a sweet little dachshund that won't go away."
Yeah, she was just loving it. All right, Rach, you got a question directed at you.
Oh, what's that?
As a supportive spouse, how are you holding up?
I'm holding up well because, just like and making sure that I'm asking certain questions, like just trying to support and then also ask questions about what could be a workaround and like trying to better understand. So like I said before, I don't have a full understanding of what games are what. I'll just go to the table and, play and let them guide whatever it is we're doing. And, unless it says Dungeons and Dragons all over it, it's something different to me. It's related somehow, but I don't understand fully how. But, just asking questions about what gets impacted and what does this mean, and how can we be proactive in protecting our own investments, or just helping out like with the wheels, and fostering an environment where we can talk about it.
And
so it's like you don't want to leave your partner alone. No. Like and even like any other kind of job stress. He was a cop, so and I was a social worker, therapist, program director and stuff like that. And so we both had kind of stressful jobs, like dealing with the public, dealing with like very sensitive issues for people. So it's kind of second nature to do the same with this. It impacts people. It's interesting. You think of, it's just a little game, but it's really not. It's not just a little game. It's a whole culture. It's a whole community. It's a whole
industry.
Yes. Like and there's a whole like business and like argot, like a speech, different euphemisms that you guys use for different things, so just being able to learn and kind of stay current and be hip to, what it is that,
Yeah,
he would be going through. Because I'm not a creator. I'm not, I don't do anything like that. Well, go ahead.
But wait, here's the thing: like, Rach is my sounding board. She's my partner. She's my confidant. So,
like in the car today, we were talking about, folks' reaction and, what's impacted by this. And so, what about your game and where does your game fall? And, how stuck under
the licensing,
these licensing things are you? And he was like, I could do this to the game and I could do that to the game, and I could just make it my own game, so
Rach,
just helping the wheels move and just being able to listen.
I mean, I when I was actively working over my 20 years, there were a lot of relationships, a lot of couples that both were cops, and they worked well, and they had a good marriage because they worked opposite shifts, and it was great for childcare. And apparently, it was great because they had as limited patience for dealing with each other. So a lot of times, when one half retired, a lot of times these relationships with their kids now in their teens often ended because they couldn't stand each other. That with that much time. For me, having Rach retire was the happiest day of my life. Happier than my own retirement because I had more time with Rach. So we do a lot of stuff together. We spend a lot of time together. But that also means that, like, Rach hears my concerns about what's going on in this community. She hears about what it is to. She knows most of the people that I know in the community, and sometimes Rach is a sounding board too, inadvertently, because we'll be in the car when the phone call comes in, and it's going, and it's like, just so you know, Rach is here too.
Right. We have to be very much in the habit of having people know.
So
this is who's there.
Yeah. So just that's how I'm blessed.
Yeah, I love Dachshund, Sparky. This is our second Dachshund.
Yes. Our first Dachshund was a Bronx Dachshund.
Oh, yeah.
She'd
go into a place and take it over. Even if it was a big dog.
Yeah.
She'd be like pushing that dog out of the way. Like, it's my water.
Step aside. We had a stray dog that I knew from the neighborhood. This dog came charging at me, and I'm in front of the house. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have to pick up this dog. And, oh, no, she went right in front of me. And the other dog was like, holy shit. And it was like a larger mutt, Yeah. And it was just like, okay, I'm out of here. This one, too many. Oh no, another dog on a leash. Pick me up, mommy. I can't handle it. 2 dogs. You gotta pick me up. It's like, so different personalities. This one you see behind us loves people. People are her world. So
she's starting to enjoy dogs,
but
little dogs.
She's 8.5, right?
She does not enjoy a dog park where there's big dogs.
Nope.
She will demand to be picked up.
Yeah, pick me up. I can't.
Why are we here?
I don't like this. It's enough. Spark from a Dachshund. Gizmo was fearless. He'd fight anything. Big dogs, roosters, turkeys. Everyone was afraid of him, but he was a sweet dog.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Chloe only feared one animal, and this.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
She feared one animal, and that was my parents' sweet cat Fritzy, who somehow knew I can intimidate this dog. He'd chase her through the house to the point that she'd get herself cornered and pee herself in the corner. And he felt so bad because the cat was the sweetest cat. But here's the thing: sweet cat and sweet dog, somebody's got to be the big one who gets all the attention. And he wasn't let this dog get any of the attention. That's what it comes to.
Fritzy loved me until he met Dom. Until he met Chloe.
And he's like, wait a second.
Like, I don't know about you. You brought that dog into this house.
I don't think this is right. No, not good. Not good. So, folks, we're at an hour and 45 minutes. Like I said last night, I was exhausted when Glenn and I were wrapping up, talking about OGL 1.1 stuff. exhausts me emotionally because I am very invested in it. Not necessarily as much because of my own works, but because of my friends in this community, some of whom I consider to be family. They mean that much to me. And I know how much creativity, despite whatever our recent troll was saying, the OGL is a tool for creativity. It allows you to create without having to recreate the wheel. And
yeah, but I don't think your friend really understands what's going on. I don't think he has the capacity to
especially
really understand, since he was sitting there like, oh, you're stealing gas.
Well, especially
Really?
especially tonight.
Yeah.
You know. By the way, Tom, I did predict this, didn't I? I made this prediction. I said it's going to happen, and lo and behold, man, I should have been the social worker because I can read people. Well, at least I can read the deviants. I can read the deviants really, really well, and I read this one really well. So, folks, on that
but
note,
it's not just deviants and social work. So,
no, I know.
It's all people. It's humanity.
It's humanity. But
the deviant is yours.
Yeah, the deviants were mine. God damn it. Yeah, Don's like, yes, you did. Bingo. Tom, yes, you did. Trust me on this stuff. I know my abusers of controlled substances and alcohol, and I know how they react under stressful situations. Yes, nobody likes a gloater, but I will gloat on this one because I was entertained. By the way, I'm gonna have to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes tomorrow going through and start taking all the screenshots for when I had to put that stuff up on the screen.
Oh yeah, because you got to send it to your.
Yeah.
We have to send it to the team.
Send it to the team. The team. All right, folks. As always, endemic stuff, common sense. Don't be a Mario, right? Like I say that. Don't be a Mario, unless your name is Mario for real, not Mario real. Whatever.
Be an awesome Mario, not a drag Mario.
Yeah. Don't smoke your drugs in public, please. Okay, that gets you in trouble. Be safe, be well. Yep. Oh, don't worry about the taxes. That's somebody else's job. Hey, oxygen is free, except when you get it from me. All right. Yeah. Folks, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Yes, I'm a bit punch drunk today. Tomorrow, 12 noon. Don't miss the random party generator 1.1 OGL special, where Rob Conley will explain things that need to be explained.
Nice.
All right, folks.
He'll do that.
God bless. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get out of here so I can partake in some. I think I didn't drink this all. Okay.